Mr. Fairbanks, when I was getting ready to do this interview and doing a little bit of preparation, I conducted a straw poll, as it were, and 50% of the people I asked this question, I said to them, what country was Douglas Fairbanks Jr. born in? And over 50% said England. And of course you were born in the United States.
Sure, isn't it funny?
Now, do you find that this is kind of the way it goes?
Yes, I do, and it also is an interesting comment on how little impact television and the press have, because the question was asked of my father in Sicily. I am always being asked the question as far back as I can remember, since before the war, and our answer has always been, no, we were born here, we've never had any other residence but here, we live here. Family for 4 generations on my mother's side has had a second home over there because of business, and I was actually brought up on both sides. I do have a house there and an office, but my main base and office in New York, and I have a little cottage in Florida. But I've never had anything else. When I was active in films, I had a place in California, and I sold there. But it is always, there's never been any pattern, and yet what people want to think, I suppose 2 reasons for it, is that for some reason, I'm more conspicuous when I'm abroad than when I'm at home. Home, they take me for granted, you know, a prophet in his own country. Not without honor, I've got it backwards, but... over there, having had an identification and a kind of life over a long period, people have got onto that. But however many times you deny it or tell them the truth or anything else, with all respect for the media, and I've been involved in it myself, it's been my profession for 98,000 years, it really doesn't have any lasting impact on people. People get something in their head and they stick with it, and it takes dynamite to blast it out. It's very funny.
It really is, because we must set the record straight once and for all, at least for our Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yeah.
Douglas Fairbanks Jr. is an American.
A New Yorker, in fact.
Both his parents were born in this country.
And grandparents and great-grandparents. Been here since before the independence.
Yes.
On both sides.
Do you ever, though, sometimes, Mr. Fairbanks, think of yourself having a little bit of the Englishman in you?
Well, I went to school off and on there as well as here. I went to school in France as well. And because of the family connections and relatives and things like that, and because I've always enjoyed myself and have a number of friends and spend half my time, of course I do. I have a great affection. I suppose it is my second home. And I am just as much at home there as I am almost anywhere. It just happens that it isn't my home. I am a foreigner over there. But they've always been marvelous to me, and you make a friend of them there, and they'll remain your friends for life. And I do have a kind of vested interest in the place, and I think that even though I'm a New Yorker, I think London is probably the greatest big city in the world. I used to go to school in Paris, but I think that's sort of run down now and not as much, not as attractive as it used to be. So I do have a great affection for it, yeah. But I'm still a damn Yankee.
Of course, it is the Neiman Marcus fortnight that has brought you to Dallas, and
well, partly, yes, it is all wrapped up in that. But I came down with Admiral Lord Mountbatten for his United World Colleges, more or less because he wanted me to come with him as an old family friend, and I think I just sort of tagged along. And Stanley Marcus is a very old friend of mine, a very respected friend. Very kindly fell into the suggestion, and first thing I knew, I was mixed up in the fortnight. I couldn't have been more delighted.
I don't know if you've had an opportunity yet to go through the store. I haven't, because it just opened.
We opened it up this morning with speeches. I sat up till 1:30 writing my speech for this morning, and everybody else, and went all through it from 9 o'clock until 12:30 noon today.
Yes, and of course the store at this time particularly is loaded with all kinds of goodies.
It's marvelous. I was saying privately to people off the record, so I might as well say it on the record, that I've seen many exhibitions and festivals and sales and things of a similar nature. I've never seen one done so smoothly, so tastefully, so well, with so many things done in any city in the world. I just think it's miraculous, the team, how they've managed to put it all up in no time and plan it. But I was told they take about a year to plan.
Mr. Fairbanks, there's a question that, well, our viewers have heard me ask it before of some of the guests. And it's a fun question for me. I hope it will be for you. Because the question is that if you could have anything in the world you wanted, and money were no object, excluding the things that we all want, peace in the world and good health and
Yes.
this sort of thing, but some tangible thing.
Material.
Yes. If you could have anything, what would you like to have?
Well, as an old sailor in wartime, I think one of the nicest things I personally would enjoy as a luxury, and you said the money to sustain it, would be a ship, a sailing boat, or a sailing yacht, a big, comfortable, luxurious sailing yacht with a nice crew to help, but one you could go anywhere in and just roam the seas or go in and out of ports and just, but have it very comfortable and never leave port if it's rough, you know.